Returning to our 100% students, 60% of whom are female, let's say we knew that there were 160 male students. Okay? Let's say they tell us there are 160 male students, 60% of the student population are female. Now tell me how many students there are altogether. So in this case, the 60% they gave us is still a rate, isn't it? The 160 male students they give us is a portion, but it is not the portion that matches that rate, is it? So if we are solving for the base, and we say the base is just any old portion divided by any old rate, we won't get the right answer. It is either portion divided by its matching rate. Now, we're either going to have to find the rate. I'm going to call this portion 1, rate 1, just to distinguish this portion from that portion and this rate from that rate. Okay? We can either find rate 1 or we can find portion 2. But there's only one of those that's possible to find at this point. Which one of those can we find? Rate 1. We can find the other rate, can't we? Because we're supposed to know that the base is 100%. So we can say the rate that goes with males is 40%. And now we can use this formula. The base is equal to either portion divided by its matching rate, and that should give us 400. 160 divided by 40%. Does that work? That equals 400 students altogether. So just be careful on these PBR problems that whenever you use one of these formulas, that you make sure the portion and the base match. They're referring to the same piece. Now, we have to talk about one more aspect of portion base rate. The base is always 100%, but the base is not always the biggest number. What do we mean by that? What if we buy something for $50 and we have an 8% tax rate? Here's our tax, here's our list price. How do we figure the tax on that item? 8% of what? 8% of 50, isn't it? We'd say 8% times 50. Of means times, right? So 8% of 50 means 8% times 50. So 8% times 50 is how much? $4? That's right. And now if we add those two together, how much are we going to have to pay at the register? We're going to have to pay $54, aren't we? But notice we said the word that comes, the thing that comes after of is almost always which one of those letters? It's the base. That's what everything is based on. So what percent goes with that 50? 100% always goes with the base. So here's 100% of the list price. Here's 8% of the list price. What percent is this of the list price? It's 100 plus 8. This is 108%. Okay? So there's two different pictures, and the unfortunate thing is that when the book discusses PBR, they only give examples that look like this. But then when we do homework and in the real world, we find problems like this. All right? This is equivalent to percent decrease, which we'll talk about in a minute. When 400 goes down to 240, that's a 40% decrease. We took 400, we cut 40% away from it, and we had 60% left. When 50 goes up to 54, that's an 8% increase. Okay? So this picture is what percent decrease looks like. This picture is what percent increase looks like. But PBR will work all of these problems without thinking about percent increase or percent decrease. Questions or comments?